in old St. Louis. By the age of 4, Dad knew he was the best little crack shot the West had ever seen. By the time he reached pubescence, he could outshoot all the adolescents west of Durango and north of Abilene. Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, famous gunslinging deputy. Freddy Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, frontier hero to be. Then one day young Freddy Pharkas stared at eyes as black and dark as night, the eyes of an outlaw well known throughout the West. Oh, the tough kid's name was Kenny, and he outdrew Freddy Pharkas when he shot Freddy's ear off to prove who was the best. Now our hero Freddy Pharkas, with wounded pride and earless carcass, vowed to the heavens to give up gunnery. He'd be better off, he reckoned, with a lifelong dream that always beckoned pencils, not pistols, and pharmacology. Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, highest score on his SAT. Freddy Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, 5-year college degree. After Fred matriculated, got his PhD and graduated, moved out to Coursegold and bought a pharmacy. Now he's a real prescription writer, and they don't know he's an ex-gunfighter. Locked up his memories, repressed them totally. But his peaceful new survival soon was shot to hell upon arrival of Coursegold schoolmarm, the sweet Penelope. She has captured Fred's affection, but he's scared he'll get a huge rejection. Can't bear to tell her just what he used to be. Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, frontier pharmacist bourgeoisie. Freddy Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, peerless, earless, and free.
Freddy Pharkas? You was asking about Freddy Pharkas? The man what saved Coursegold, only nobody knowed it was him? Why, just hop up here on old Whitland Willie's lap, and I'll tell you all about it. Ow, consarn it, a bit more to the right. That's got it. Sit right there. Oh, no, thank you. Now, if I remembers this right, it's been quite a few years. My brain's getting a mite rusty. Oh, that's right. It all started when Freddy went to open up the pharmacy one day, way back in the spring of 1888, as I recall.
The remains of the Sugar Pine and Coursegold's engineer's shack lie rotting on the south side of Main Street. Rover earned his name the hard way. He lives from paw to mouth all around town. You've always assumed the Golden Balls Saloon must once have been a pawn shop. Mom's Cafe must have good food. It's where all the stagecoaches stop. Ah, many's the young cowpoke who had to quickly lower himself off this balcony with a bunch of knotted sheets, usually stark naked. You do your Peepin' Freddy routine with the hotel window. Furtive shadows steal across the walls inside. What little light seeps into the hotel plays teasingly at vague forms and shapes. How nauseatingly poetic. You are surprised to see Billy, the town handyman, boarding up the Dirty Sheet Hotel. Billy, the town handyman and jack of all trades, is boarding up yet another Coursegold business, the Dirty Sheet Hotel, the finest hostelry in all of eastern Madera County. Okay, so maybe it was only the best after that other hotel was shut down, but in its day, the Dirty Sheet was really something.
Say, Billy, when did the old Dirty Sheet fold?
Oh, good morning, Mr. Farkas. Why, just yesterday. It was a surprise to me, too. Nobody told me nothing about it until they gave me these boards.
The door to the hotel is locked. The hotel was shut down unexpectedly. This put a total of 2 desk clerks and 5 working girls out of jobs. Fortunately, there weren't any maids, or they'd have been fired too. Peering through Mom's greasy glass, you can see she's open for business. You've always been fond of Mom's cooking, at least the first time it goes down.
Flies in the summer, snow fleas in the winter. God, but I miss Missouri.
It's an old empty can of P&W beans, the firm, crisp beans that smell as savory on the way out as they do on the way in. P&W corn, firm, crisp kernels that look as good coming out as they do going in. This is a bottle of Mom's home-pressed apple cider. Mom is merciless to those poor apples. As she turns the press, she screams, "Die, you suckers, die!"
Freddy Pharkas, look what you all brought in with you. What's next? Honestly, I swan.
Hey, Mom, would you mind if I took this empty can?
If you must, I suppose there's more where that came from. In fact, I insist you take it. Get it out of here. I'm sick of the sight of it. Score!
Helen Back, proprietor of Mom's Cafe, is better known as Mom.
If she was my mom, I'd run away from home. Morning, Helen.
Freddy Pharkas, since when are we on a first-name basis? Only my closest friends may call me Helen. You and I are acquaintances, nothing more. Therefore, you should address me as Mom.
Land's sake, I'm sorry, Mom?
That's better. Now, what you want?
Well, when I remember, I'll let you know.
Honestly, some people.
It's Hopalong Singh, Helen's faithful cook from the Far East. He used to work as a professional chef for a chain of Ponderosa restaurants.
Howdy, Hop. How's the restaurant business?
Pretty slow. Not much business. Seem like town closing up and blowing away.
You've noticed that too, have you?
Oh yes, first old abandoned mine, then assay office, then post office, then tall and thin shop, then theater, yesterday hotel. What next?
Well, I intend to get to the bottom of this.
Maybe hurry before Mom's next to go. Hop Singh not want to lose his job.
Rumor has it that Helen Back keeps the heads of her 3 dead husbands somewhere behind the Melmac plates and dishes in that china cabinet. If you value your right hand, and we know you do, don't be opening Mom's cabinets. This is one of the few remaining townspeople, Why they stay, no one knows.
You talking to me?
Well,
What am I, some sort of clown to you?
No.
What, do I walk funny or something?
No, and please don't hurt me.
Good, nice talking to you. See you around.
Once, Coursegold's brave pioneer settlers predicted Main Street would rival the Champs-Élysées, Van Ness Boulevard, or Broadway. Now it rivals the Oregon Trail and is about as smooth. Here stands the only bank in town, the First Bank of Bob. The founder must have had a hard time coming up with an original name for his establishment. For one brief, shining moment, there truly was a place called Cattle Lot. Under the village chestnut tree, the spreading smithy stands. Oh, wait, that's not how it goes. Apparently, most of the lower half of the horse is in a chop shop somewhere in Los Angeles by now. Smithy the village blacksmith is a real hulk of humanity.
You know, Smithy, I've been wondering about that horse of yours. What happened?
Consarn neighborhood kids, you just can't leave anything outside at night anymore without 'em stripping it right down to the axles.
How's business, Smithy?
Flatter than cow plop, Pharkas. And you?
Actually, I'm doing okay. Not great, but I'm making it, in spite of this mild economic downturn we've been experiencing.
Bah, if I could find me a buyer, I'd unload this dump in a sec.
You know, Smithy, I've been wondering about that horse of yours.
Consarn neighborhood kids, you just can't leave anything outside at night anymore.
How?
Flatter than cow plop.
Actually, I'm doing okay.
Bah, if I could find me a buyer, I'd unload this dump in a sec.
Never approach a horse from the rear, for several reasons, at least one of which is utterly disgusting. This is one of the few remaining townspeople. This wagon has been lying here in this sad state of disrepair ever since Mr. Leach, the carriage maker, headed back east to Detroit. This is the west end of Bluff Street, which runs parallel to Main Street. Collier Bluff sweeps across the north side of the street here. Beyond it stretches the great painted desert, but you can't get there from here. In fact, you can't get there from anywhere. High in the sky stands the town gallows. Ernest and Julio Gallows brand lynching equipment. We will hang no man before his time. The sign says, Hyman Untertaker, und you're not. The door to the outhouse is the only part they got right. The rest of it is a real half-assed job.
Not much privacy, but the ventilation is excellent.
Reboot Hill isn't very creepy. The Coursegold Founding Fathers Cemetery Committee couldn't afford creepy. But creepy costs extra. Reverend Cy Hallelujah lives here. A squeaky old sheep weather vane turns gently on top of Reverend Hallelujah's house. Perhaps he's trying to get people to join his flock. A stagecoach converted to a hearse is mired in the mud here, minus one wheel. Once this was a one-hearse town. Now it's a no-hearse town. One of Hyman Untertaker's coffins is lying in disrepair off near Reboot Hill. It looks like a Cedar Model No. 7. Eternal slumber and no moths. You slowly open the coffin.
Say, you ought to do something about that coffin.
This small yard opens up to Bluff Street on the north side. The south side faces the back end of the saloon and Mom's Cafe. The hotel flanks the east side, and the old abandoned synagogue lies to the west. Wow, some of Dad Gum's magic elixir. This stuff can be used to cure a wide variety of conditions, the foremost being sobriety. You surreptitiously swipe the elixir, looking around to see if anybody's watching. Fortunately, nobody is. Dad Gum's traveling medicine show wagon sits nearby, awaiting the return of Dad Gum and the start of the traveling medicine show season. There's an ice pick stuck into a barrel here. You pull the ice pick out of the barrel and gingerly place it in your pocket. Just don't bend over suddenly or you'll circumcise yourself. Of course, that won't be any skin off your nose. This window looks in on the kitchen of Mom's Cafe.
Hey, Mom, come to the window, why don't you?
You wait. Apparently, Mom hasn't caught on to the drive-up window concept yet.
Howdy, Hop-along.
Freddy Pharkas, you cannot hang around my kitchen. Go away, get lost.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
A colorful poster for Nun-style beer hangs on the back of Mom's Cafe. Nun-style beer, pure brewed in God's country. Now in redeemable bottles. Somebody posted a flyer here trying to convince the town council to bring co-ed rodeo to the Sanjokin Valley. This small yard opens up. The blue sign is advertising large, clean rooms daily and weekly. No wonder the Dirty Sheet Hotel closed. They advertised the competition. Hung crookedly on the side of the hotel is an advertisement for Atticus's Bathhouse, a local institution that didn't last a year. Folks in Coursegold have traditionally been fiercely proud of how unwashed they are. The sign says simply, rooms, referring to the Dirty Sheet Hotel. Rubbing your finger on the hotel window barely removes any dirt. Apparently there was more dirt going on inside than outside. This is Sam's rear. This is Sam's rear with a couple of barrels by the back door. Any questions? This is the alternate route into the saloon. It lacks the characteristic Western feel of swinging doors, but it has the distinct advantage of being lockable. A gnarled old tree grows next to the synagogue and stretches up, forming a canopy over the yard. This small yard opens up to Bluff Street. It's Barbara Mandrill and the Bobettes, stars of stage, screen, and barnyard. It's
Shear it off! Shear it all off!
Three mean-looking hombres sit up close to the stage. Upon closer examination, you see that they're drinking wine spritzers. Maybe they're not so mean after all.
Welcome to Coursegold, strangers. I haven't seen you around these parts before. You new in town?
You hear the unmistakable sound of grinding and cracking teeth. You hear the splitting, tearing sound of six severely chapped lips curling up in ugly sneers. You hear the pop of knuckles as three trigger fingers flex in readiness. You decide your friendly, offhand comments have been misinterpreted. It's Doc's whiskey glass, mostly empty right now. You pick up the whiskey glass.
Score!
This is the Wheel of Fortune table. Guess the right number and Sam will tell you your fortune. This dice game is known as Chuck-a-Luck. Since you're living in Coursegold, you've apparently chucked your luck already. This roulette table is for casino night. Looks like somebody scratched, and badly too. It's old Doc Dizzy Gillespie. He's been drinking again. Must be office hours.
Doc! Hey, Doc!
Huh? What's that?
Are you drunk again?
Me? Drunk? Blah, never. I'm as sober as the day I was plowed off my ass. I mean, the day I was born.
It's Neville Shute, the piano player. He's doing the best he can.
Play it, Neville!
Neville, in order not to lose track of the piece he's playing, says nothing. However, he raises his eyebrows as if to say, "Certainly, sir, I'll be happy to play whatever selection you'd care to hear. And what's more, I'll make this old piano sound like a whole orchestra." It's a Moosehead, the only domestic brand Sam serves. Sam Andreas owns and runs the Golden Balls Saloon. He's smart, savvy, and generous to a fault.
Well, if it ain't Sam Andreas, the bartender's bartender.
If it's not, I'm having a severe identity crisis.
How the heck are you?
Tolerably well. Yourself?
Can't complain. Pharmacy business seems to be pretty good lately.
Ah, well, the pharmacy business has always been a little too interesting for me to hear about, so, don't be a stranger.
Say, Sam, I think I'll take an Ovaltine.
In a cracked glass?
Yes, with a hair in it, too.
And the usual lipstick smear on the glass?
Yep, and a ring of dried soap around the inside lip.
On a coaster?
No, I like leaving rings on your bar.
Rocks with that?
No, but some ice cubes would be nice.
Oh, we're out of ice cubes.
Then I'll take it straight.
Out of Ovaltine, too.
Oh, well, okay. I'll check back later.
Feel free.
A beautiful mural from the starving artists of Oxnard. They used to hold sales a couple of times a year over in the lobby of the Dirty Sheet Hotel. Sam has stocked the bar with every brand of cheap rotgut listed in the Mr. Fresno's Saloon Keeper Guide. De Viper venom-flavored schnapps, Granny's Walker Black, MD 20W40, Cuddly Shark blended botched whiskey, Wild Smoked Turkey, Harold's Bristle Cream Slurry, oh, and a bottle of David Bowie, a sweetened liqueur. It appears to be a tiny picture of some field mice playing poker. It's a likeness of Chastity, one of the girls over at Madame Overy's. She's so lifelike you feel as if you could just reach out and touch her. And you'd save $2 that way, too. Everybody in town knows Trixie the accommodating sheep. She used to belong to a bachelor farmer, but he died of some strange disease. Translation: I'm terribly sorry, sir, but I can't accommodate you right now. Chesterfield has been unloading this wagon since last winter. This sign says Chesterfield's Mercantile Company. It may indicate there's a store inside this building. The sign proclaims this as the post office. The south side of Main Street holds the remains of the railroad's telegraph office. Coursegold's Main Street was once the center of a thriving metropolis, driven by the tons of gold found hereabouts. Now it's only a shadow of its former self. Mercantile Street leads away into the distance. Like all proud, red-blooded Italian-Irish-American barbers, Salvatore O'Hanahan is extremely proud of his pole. Actually, he almost had to give it up when they levied an expensive poll tax. The sign says, O'Hanahan's Barber Shop. This is Sheriff Checkham P. Schiff's jail and armory. The sheriff does a mighty fine job of infiltrating the criminal element in town. In fact, he is the foremost criminal element in town. The Tall and Thin Shop. The owner narrowly escaped with his life once when he was discovered short-changing customers. The sign says Tall and Thin Shop, and hey, it's right. That's just about the tallest and thinnest shop you've ever seen. It's your ordinary water trough, favorite hangout of Coursegold horses and town drunks. In brighter days, this trough would be filled with sparkling, clear, pure mountain spring water, the kind they make into lousy domestic beer. These days, though, all you see in the trough is muddy, dirty, old stagnant water with a bunch of dead flies floating on top. These remnants of the Coursegold depot are all tumbled down and shot. The sign says P.P.'s Playhouse. Or it used to, anyway. Now it looks more like P.P.'s Dlayhouse. Can't you read? The sign on the door says closed. This was Coursegold's Opera House, P.P.'s Playhouse. It was shut down by unpopular demand several months ago after the owner was found necking with a lamb during a performance of Babette's Feast. The sign says Pharkas Pharmacy. This must be the place. It's Dominic, one of your part-time Native American employees. He works under the professional name Runnin' Gag. The union told you that you had to have a cigar store-style Indian out in front when you opened your pharmacy. But since there were lots of out-of-work real Indians in the neighborhood, you decided it would be politically correct to hire them.
Morning, Dominic.
Morning, Freddy.
What's new?
Let's see. I finished reading A Century of Dishonor last night. Quite impressive. That Helen Hunt Jackson really knows how to evoke an image of the white man's treachery. Do you know how many treaties your people have signed and then broken in the past 20 years alone?
Excuse me, I heard someone calling me or something.
The pharmacy door is locked. This ain't Mayberry, partner.
Hey, this looks just like the key to the front door of my pharmacy.
Score!
You unlock the door. Ta-da! 500 points. You're halfway through the game. This is your pharmacy, where you work, hence the name Pharkas' Pharmacy. This bottle is filled with this century's most incredible medical breakthrough. You won't be needing any leeches in this game. Your diploma from the University of Hicksville School of Apothecary Sciences and other good guesses. The old alma mater. What memories. It's the president's wife. She's the head of the Just Say No to Ether campaign. This hand-painted sign adds a real touch of friendly, folksy atmosphere to the place. It also spells pharmacy phonetically, inbreeding being as popular as it is around here. This sign clearly lets the townsfolk know that the prescription counter is in the back of the store.
Someday, maybe there'll be a glass tube there, bent in the shape of the word prescription, filled with a rare gas that will glow in brilliant colors. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Boy, that'd make people actually want to buy drugs.
This multi-instrument piano roll-style juke machine is called a symphonium. Trouble is, the company that sold it to you went out of business after producing only one roll. And how many times can a person listen to does your chewing tobacco lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? You thought an ice cream stand would attract customers. Mostly it attracts cockroaches, especially now that the iced cream deliveries have stopped. It's a tube of Preparation G, the Wells Fargo wagon driver's friend for over half a decade.
Score!
You pick up a tube of Preparation G in the handy 25-ounce Krabby Elephant size.
Frederick!
Why, Miss Prim, you sure are looking purty today.
Now, Frederick, you may call me Penelope if you please. After all, I think we're to that point in our relationship.
She must be talking about the hayride you both went on last month, or the square dance you both went to last week, or the cow tipping expedition you both went on last night.
Well then, to what do I owe the pleasure of your company this fine morning?
Oh, this isn't a social call, I'm afraid. I have this rather important prescription Doc Gillespie gave me. I was hoping you could fill it as soon as possible.
My pleasure, Penelope.
You can't think of...
I sure have been having a swell time with you these past few weeks, Penelope.
Why, thank you, Frederick. I have too.
I do believe I have a growing a growing affection for you.
That's sweet of you, Frederick. I think you're very cute. For a pharmacist, that is. Considering you've only got one ear. And you're scrawnier than the other men in town.
She thinks I'm cute. She really thinks I'm cute. How's school, Penelope?
Oh, how I love filling those impressionable young minds with knowledge, their eager faces turned upward in the quest to learn. It's so satisfying.
I was wondering if you were going to go to the Rotary Club luncheon next week, and if so, if you had anybody else to go with.
Forgive me, Frederick. I do so hate to be short with you, but I do need this prescription. Otherwise, I'd love to stay and chat. Please don't think me impertinent.
Oh, not at all. It's my fault for prattling on so. I'll get right to it.
Why, the poor dear. She must be suffering from the vapors, those injurious exhalations produced within the body creating feelings of hypochondria and depression. Her prescription is in Doc's usual scrawl and smells of whiskey, so you know it's authentic. This is the cozy little back room of your pharmacy where you do your heavy thinking. In other words, you don't spend much time here. You keep your anatomical models in here, but don't worry, you're not the only one in town with a few skeletons in your closet. It's a picture of some nearby big rock. You keep a pitcher of water in a basin so you can occasionally wash your face. Some buxom lady's portrait. Notice how the painting seems to follow you around the room. And I don't mean her eyes. That's your laboratory, where you concoct and bottle your formulas. You study Penelope's prescription and prepare to carefully fill it. You wouldn't want to make a mistake with her medicine. This is where you carefully label the container Miss Penelope Prim for internal use only. And what internals they are, you dream about them day and night.
Thank you, Frederick. This looks perfect. You are a scholar and a gentleman.
Aw, shucks. I'm just a poor pharmacist trying to please my favorite customer. Will I see you again soon?
I think that can be arranged, Frederick. See you soon.
I'll be waiting. So long now, Penelope.
Unfortunately, you were so taken with Penelope's angelic presence that you forgot to charge her the 19 cents she owed you.
Good day, Freddy. Freddy Pharkas.
Well, good day to you, Ms. Back. What can I do for you today?
Well, Freddy Pharkas, Doc Gillespie, that no-good gin-soaked sod no lush, wrote me this damn prescription that'll probably cost me an arm and a leg. Here, take it. The rot gut from that old wino doctor is making my new ensemble stink to high heaven, I want to tell you.
This is Helen Back, proprietor of Mom's Cafe.
To get good food in Coursegold, you have to go to hell and back.
So, how's the restaurant business?
Shoot, don't ask.
Okay, sorry.
I swear my delicate constitution ain't up to the heat and the flies this year. Hop's seen spending more time swatting flies than he is in the kitchen. He hardly has time to wash his hands. Of course, we ain't getting nothing delivered on time anymore 'cause of the train. We gotta get our produce by Pony Express, and it ain't too pretty once it gets here.
Pony Express, when it positively, absolutely has to be there by the Industrial Revolution.
But I don't want to complain. Just get my prescription filled, will you? There's a lad.
Helen Back's prescription is barely legible due to all the whiskey spots, but you eventually decipher it. You study Helen Back's prescription and prepare to carefully fill it. You toss it into the waste receptacle. You carefully label the container, Mrs. Helen Back. Take 3 times daily just before meals.
Score! That's better, Freddy Pharkas.
That'll be 22 cents, Miss Back.
Y'all just put it on my tab. I don't have it with me right now. Freddy Cherie, just slide that handsome pharmacist butt on over here. I got something I need from you.
Morning, Sadie. What have you got?
Well, I got a prescription here I need filled. Something that'll increase my womanly powers, if you know what I mean. Be a dear and fill it for me right away, won't you? I simply can't wait to try it out.
Your wish is my command, madam.
You take the prescription from the madam. What a busy morning. You haven't had to fill this many prescriptions since Custer's troops stayed at the Dirty Sheet Hotel. It's Madam Sadie Overy, proprietor of Ye Old Ore House, and your closest friend and confidant. In fact, she knows everything about you.
How's business, Sadie?
Oh, it has its ins and outs. Oh my, I do make a good funny now and then, don't I?
Yes, Sadie, you sure do. How's business, Sadie?
Oh, it has its ins and outs.
Yes, Sadie, you sure do.
This prescription is impossible to read. That's what happens when Doc writes a prescription through bleary, whiskey-soaked eyeballs. You stir the few remaining drops of whiskey around and lick off your finger. Single malt.
Score!
Ah, now you can see this prescription the way Doc wrote it.
Excuse me, Sadie. I've got to run out for a bit. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Okay, Freddy, but hurry back.
It's Herbert, one of your part-time employees. Herbert spent the past 5 years as a security guard at F.W. Fleeceworth's in Utica, New York. They downsized, so Herbert moved out west to be closer to his family. You took a chance in hiring him, figuring that as a security guard he was perfectly qualified to stand around for hours and hours without doing anything productive. Turns out he's overqualified.
Herbert, how's it hanging?
As usual, Mr. Pharkas. Permission to speak freely?
Of course.
I've had an offer from a bank in Scottsdale. They'd like me to stand inside the lobby and hold checking account brochures.
How much are they offering you?
5 cents a day, plus a commission on the brochures.
Let me look at the books and we'll talk in a couple of days. I don't want to lose you.
Thank you, Mr. Pharkas. I don't want to lose you either.
Doc, you're not writing prescriptions while you're drunk, are you?
Oh, no, never. Yeah. I'm a responsible individual with an imperfect reputation.
Doc?
What? What's that? Oh, I swear, it's an established medical procedure. I wasn't negligent.
No, Doc. I just wanted to tell you that I'm worried about you. Your prescriptions have been getting sloppier and sloppier. Let's work together on this.
You have my complete cooperation. Let's drink to it. Barkeep, another round for my prescription-filling friend here.
Just simmer in your own juices for a while.
You thrust the prescription and the whiskey glass under Doc's nose.
Hey, Doc, this says testosterate. You really want to prescribe this to a woman?
Testosterate? No, I suppose that would be a poor choice. Let's see. This was for Sadie Ovary, right? I must have meant something else. Let me fix it. Ooh. Hey, there you go. Take this back to your pharmacy and have fun.
Thanks, Doc.
Don't come crying to me, George Bailey. I'm going to swear out a warrant for your arrest.
Score!
That's Ima Flirt, the lunchroom lady. Of course, since the schoolhouse only consists of one room, there's not much for Ima to do but waltz around town waiting for someone to build a cafeteria. Nice work if you can get it.
Howdy, ma'am.
She smiles at you. If your heart didn't already belong to Penelope, you might be tempted to ask her to join you for a glass of sarsaparilla.
How?
Yeah.
Time for you shift over.
Oh, please. You've been reading too many dime novels. Stop talking like that.
Just trying to please the tourist, Herb.
Sure, tourist. Whatever. See you later. I'm going to go soak my corns.
My people call it maize.
Jeez.
It's Pete, one of your part-time employees. Pete used to work for a lawn jockey company, but he was fired after puberty when he grew too tall for the business. He's insecure, but he's a good worker.
How goes it, Pete?
Just fine, Mr. Pharkas, just fine. Sure is a nice day today.
Yes, Pete. It's beautiful out.
I was wondering if it might be possible for me to knock off a little early today.
Something in particular going on?
Well, it's just such a nice day. I thought I'd spend a little quality time with the buffalo. Maybe take them to Yosemite, let them run around and do some grazing. You know, the usual.
I suppose that'd be okay. Sure, you can leave early. Just watch out for poachers now.
That's a funny one, Mr. Pharkas. I'll be sure to do that. Poachers. Like anyone would want to do that to buffalo. Very funny.
I'm back, Sadie. Sorry for the delay. I just had to check out a few things.
Perfectly okay, Freddy, hon. I was just admiring the way you display your goods.
Look who's talking.
You study Doc's corrections to Madam Overy's prescription and prepare to carefully fill it. This is where
Oops.
You carefully label the container Madam Ovary.
Why, merci, Freddy dear.
That's gonna be 22 cents, Sadie, but for you, I'll make it 19.
What do you say we just sorta take it out in trade? I'm a mite short this week.
Well...
Why, thank you, Freddy. Ooh, you sweet potato pie. I'll catch you tonight, maybe, huh? Or at 4.
Hey, Pharkas! My butt's killing me!
He does know how to make an entrance, doesn't he?
Sorry to hear that, Smithy.
Yeah, so give me some of that preparation jink.
It's Smithy the blacksmith, owner of Smithy's Blacksmith, and a darn clever fella. He seems to be in pain.
Why not your usual 6-pack of liniment, Smithy?
Well, Mr. Pharkas, I'm a-fixin' to take a long ride. I'm a-gonna leave town. The sheriff shut me down for operating without a smithy license, whatever the hell that is. So I sold that lousy property off to that cheap snake of a banker P.H. Balance down at the bank of Bob. And good riddance, says I.
I'll be sorry to see you go, Smithy.
Yeah, well, this town's going to hell in a hand-me-down anyway. Something's wrong with them horses out there. They's putting up a storm. Can't hardly take the smell. I was like to pass out around there.
Why not your usual...
Well...
I'll be sorry to see you go.
Yeah, well...
That'll be 15 cents, Smithy, but I don't suppose you can pay me.
Are you saying I can't pay my bills fair and square, Pharkas? Well, yeah, I'm gonna settle up tabs with you anyway, since I'm leaving town. Here's what I owe you.
Smithy pays you his tab. A whole $4.87. Holy moly, a windfall! You're rich! Well, kinda sorta.
And if you takes my advice, you'll get out of this town, Pharkas. Sheriff's closing people up right and left. Something stinks. And I mean them horses, 'cause they're farting up a storm, I'm a-telling you. I was like to pass out. Somebody must have put something in their feed. I don't know what, but I'll tell you, don't go striking no matches out there. Good luck to you, Pharkas. You was always one of the good.
Good luck to you, Smithy. Your strong back and gruff but good-hearted demeanor will be sorely missed.
But you was a strangin'.
Fire inspection. I'm here to check out your fire safety per the new town regulations. Oh, look here. It's a good thing I came, Pharkas. I'm gonna have to shut this place up tighter than a pissant scrotum.
But, Sheriff, how could you? What's the charge? I haven't done anything wrong.
Fire hazard, my boy. Fire hazard. Why, this building's a terrible fire hazard. Looks to me like this whole damn building's made out of wood.
But, Sheriff, every building in this town is constructed of wood.
I don't know nothing about that, son. Tough luck, Pharkas. From now on, just keep the front door locked.
But what am I supposed to do, Sheriff? This is my livelihood.
If I was you, I'd talk to the bank. Good day.